What is up, everyone? Today we're looking at the Animal Kingdom Pirates starter deck from One Piece, starter deck number 4, which means that this is the 4th starter deck in the first set of installments. If you guys have not looked at the other ones, I would highly recommend checking those out. This is probably the one, however, I would buy if I was starting the game. I think this deck is the closest one to just purchasing and being able to play it in a tournament competitively if you want to, or even take it to your local scene and have some good success. This card has a lot of cards, or this deck has a lot of cards that just work in the competitive scene and are just really, really good off the bat. Now, this is the set list on the back, the deck, whatever. Let's just jump into it. I feel like you guys know there are cards in here. We don't need to go into the nitty gritty of things and just crack open this little box. Okay. Here it comes. It comes in this obscenely large plastic, as always. I don't really know why you need this much plastic. This is just kind of a waste, honestly. But here we go. Here's the Kaido starter deck, the purple starter deck, for lack of better terms. There's going to be 2 more starter decks coming out. There's going to be a film deck coming out very shortly. And there's also going to be a starter deck 6, which I believe is Navy, or 5, which is Navy. Comes with your 10 Dawn, as always. The 10 Dawn is like your mana, your energy card, whatever. You can just play these in any shape, way, or form. And if you're at your locals or something, people don't really care if you proxy them with like other sets or other decks. Now, Kaido is probably the best leader here because once per turn, you can activate the man by returning 7 Dawn to your deck, your Dawn deck, and just trashing one of your opponent's life cards, which is really, really good. It also comes with 2 9-cost Kaidos, which on play will return your opponent's characters with 6 or less, or KO one of them with 6 or less if you return 5 Dawn. So it's a big beater and it's got Rush immediately. Comes with 2 copies of King. Both of these cards, by the way, go into the Kaido deck normally. So these are just immediately you're getting 2 copies of each of maybe the 3 or 4 you would choose to play. King also will go ahead and KO a character of 4 or less. So purple revolves around KOing the board and just kind of building it that way. And mana cheating. So purple is all about the Dawn cheating, getting them into play. You've got Ulti as well, which kind of, the 4 copies of Ulti synergize with Page 1 to try to get Page 1 into play. You've got 2 copies of Queen, which is your blocker, and also a draw and dump mechanic as you're going through your deck. Queen is really, really good. This card is pretty much in every purple deck, like a max 4 of. Yeah, there's 4 copies of Sasaki. Yeah, 4 copies of Sasaki, as well as 4 copies of Sheep's Head, which is just another big beater. Now, Jack is also really good. There's 2 copies of Jack in here. Notice how all the good, really, really good cards, there's only 2 copies of. So if you do want to buy this deck, buy 2 copies of it and you'll be set to go. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, add 1 card from your Dawn and set it as active. So you basically get a free Dawn for a pitch. You have 4 copies of Jin Rummy. 2 copies of Who's Who, which is okay, but like Who's Who gets the KO card, but also it's a trigger off of the security stack. You have 4 copies of Black Maria, which is your chump blocker in purple. It is a 2K, and it does come with a counter, so it's better than most of the other blockers in the game. Here's 4 copies of Page 1 that synergize with the Ulti, I believe, earlier. Yeah. We've got 4 copies of X Drake here, just a vanilla guy. He's a full art card for some reason. 2 Lead Performer Disaster. 2 Brachio Bombers. 4 Blast Breaths. And probably the best card in purple, Onigashima Island. And there's 4 of them, which says you may rest this stage. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirate type, add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and rest it. So this helps you cheat Dawn into play pretty consistently. Now that is the entire Animal Kingdom deck revolving around Kaido. And this is probably the most competitively viable one immediately off the bat because of how many playable cards there are. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I'll be doing more One Piece content on this channel. Pokemon's on my main. Check it out so much. Thank you. Like and subscribe.